Well, this is something I've had to work up to talking about. There is so much conflicting information out there about self-publishing that it's not even funny. First of all, you got one person who says, gee, self-published authors make all sorts of money. All you have to do is write really, 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 really fast. Well, some of us are good at that and some of us aren't. And well, there's nothing to worry about because obviously there's so many people publishing right now, so many of them suck that the good stuff will necessarily rise to the top. Well, I guess that's why I'm making no money from Amazon, almost, compared to other sources, even though my last novel was nominated for a Shamus Award. Because my book sucks so bad. The book that made the New York Times bestseller list suddenly started to suck. I don't know. Anyway, that's one person's take. Another person's take is that it's just utterly hopeless. And this comes from an Amazon author, somebody who publishes through Amazon's publishing imprint. Okay, this person says, number one, Facebook ads are useless. BookBub, useless. The only way to go is with Amazon ads. This is an Amazon author talking, of course. So, somewhat biased, yes? Okay, but then, of course, this person, I can't even remember what the subject of the talk was supposed to be. It ended up turning into basically an ad for become an Amazon author if you possibly can, because they pay monthly and they're so transparent about their earnings with their own authors, etc., etc. And I'm sure they give them a hell of a lot more marketing support than they give to indie authors who choose not to be exclusive with them. So, on that happy note, I will just say this has got to be one of the cutest things I've seen in ages. What the hell is this? The 2023 to 24 Key Book Publishing Paths. These are the paths that you can take. You can be with a big 5 house, assuming you can find an agent to get you in the door. Then there's other traditional and small presses. Okay, so we're just breaking them down by size now at this point. And of course, the smaller the publishing house, the more likely you are to get personalized attention from them. More personalized at any rate. Nobody's going to do your marketing for you, period. I mean, they can do just so much, let's put it that way. Because they have overhead and stuff, right? And then we have on this other side, indie or self-published. You have assisted and hybrid, which I still think is weird. It's like, why are you paying extra to these people when you could be farming it out to freelancers? I don't even get me started. Indie or self-publishing. Indie/DIY. Well, to me, indie means that you are the one responsible for publishing, and if you want to outsource some of that work to someone else, that's your decision. You don't have to do everything yourself. And then this was an interesting category, social. That's really, really interesting. It says here something about, what is it? Write and publish work in a public, I'm sorry, my glasses are not as good as see. A public or semi-public forum directly to readers. Okay. Value for author. Allows writers to develop an audience, yes. Popular writers at community sites may go to traditional book deals. See, that's the whole point of this, right? We're all supposed to be aiming for a traditional book deal. So this is all assuming that you want a traditional book deal. And that, I think, is not in the plans of a lot of people who are out there self-publishing. But, having said that, I know that I don't want to have a traditional book deal for my genre fiction at this point. I just don't. At least, not right now. I can't imagine it. But maybe it might happen. I don't know. I'm just gonna... What I'm aiming for is something other than book publishing. But it involves book publishing. It involves things like acquiring rights and adapting things for the screen, for a podcast. One can do so much with one's copyright. When you own the copyright, when it is yours and yours alone, you have the option of doing so many things with it. And at this point with me, the way I focus on screenwriting, my next deadline is a screenwriting contest, not a publishing contract at this point. That's where I am focusing my attention. And I'm also trying to find ways to network with people, which is also new territory for me, totally. And I want very much to get into talking more about the options that are under social. Very interesting. Things like crowdfunding, Patreon, Substack, which, by the way, I should mention here that we have some pretty prominent writers on that platform. Gene Weingarten, for instance, a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist and humorist, is on that platform. So this is not just a place for beginners. It is very real, and people are making money there, even fiction writers. So I'm not sure what more to add to that, except to say that I hope to do better at all of this, and I hope that whatever I learn I can share with you and give people some kind of confidence that there's more than just algorithms and Amazon to worry about here. And incidentally, I mean, Amazon publishing is in a category of its own because, gee, they kind of own cloud computing, a substantial amount of the cloud computing power of the internet itself. So this is where they make their money. And as far as like overhead costs, well, you know, they're closing. They've closed some of their bookstores. I think that tells you how much they really care about bookstores. And what's his name there was saying, oh yeah, indie bookstores are now accepting Amazon books. You know, they realize that they're not the enemy. Okay, I won't get into the whole history of that, which would be very, very interesting. Maybe I'll write a whole book on that. The history of how Amazon was created and what it really is. Anyway, when you have loads and loads of money coming in from various sources, whether it's Amazon Prime or cloud computing or whatever the heck, you can afford to do more for your authors in this little imprint that you happen to own, which is very big, huge, from the writer's perspective. So, okay, I will stop there. Other than to say, the guy who gave that little presentation said that he wrote a novel with 2 broken arms. Well, congratulations on having a fixable medical problem. The end. I'm done. Thanks, and I'll talk to you later.